In this lecture, we are going to see how a person who has already, how an existing user who already have an account on this platform can navigate between his posts, the blogs that he has created and published on this platform. How he can, check out his post, how he can navigate in between his post using next and previous button. So for that he need to click on this text first, already a user, and he's going to come across this screen. So I have got a user created on this platform with name Anita. Okay, and the user ID which with which I created his profile, her profile is anita@gmail.com. And for Anita, I've got a table also on this browser in which I have got all the blocks, all the 3 blocks that she has created, or you can say I have created using Anita's ID. Fine. Now we are going to see how can we make use of next and previous button. So this is the most recently created blog of Anita. Let's hit this next button and see what is going to happen. So the user is going to come across the post 2, because for controlling these posts we have made use of a counter variable. Initially the counter variable is 1. Now when the user has hit this button, the counter variable, the value of that counter variable has got incremented by 1, and now it is 2. So the user will be able to see post 2. Similarly, when you will hit this next button again, the user will be able to see the post 3 that he or she has created on this platform. Now if you want to check out the previous posts, what you can do, you can hit this he or she can hit this previous button, and the value of x, the counter variable, is going to get decremented by 1. At present the value of x is 3. Now the value of x will be 2. Okay, so that is the reason post 2 is visible to us. Similarly, if she will hit this button again, she will be able to access her post 1. So that's how a user can navigate in between his different posts he or she has created on this platform. This is what we are going to code now in this lecture. There are 2 points where the posts are actually getting created. When the user will hit this send button, where is that send button? If he is a new user, so he is going to come on this screen first, the user screen, and then when he will hit this button over here, he is going to get redirected on this create blog screen, where this button with ID send will be visible to him. Now when he will hit this send button, automatically a table is going to get created on the browser in which everything will get stored: the title, description, name of the creator, and the email ID of the creator. So where is that code? I'm looking for that code right now. Okay, this is the code. So here a table is getting created with name blog. Now besides this, what we can do is, in this blocks table we will be having all the blocks that the various users will create on this platform. Now for fetching the block for an individual user, we need to create another table in which we can store all the information, so that we can make use of the same for the individuals. So for that, let's eliminate this thing from here, and let's make use of this get text name to. Fine, sorry, get text email to. So with the email ID, another table is going to get created now. So whatever fields we have defined for blog, all the fields are going to be there in this create record, in this table also. Besides, let's do the same thing for the send to button also. Now here the records are getting, we are fetching the records from this block table. Now instead of doing this, let's fetch the record from this get text email to, okay, where the person's email ID is going to get reflected. So if we will do like this, I think it will be better. Okay, and then we don't require this condition anymore, right? We don't require this condition now. Besides, let's do one more thing. Yeah, here also this blocks table is getting updated, so we need to copy this and paste it again, and we can replace this block. Now we are going to get the email ID from this label 8, right? So let's copy this thing and paste it over here. Now it is fine. Besides, we need to make some changes here also. So let's copy this thing and let's paste it here. Fine. Now I think the code is going to run fine. Now we can work on individuals. Yeah, now I think it is good to go. The code is good to go. Besides, here also the when the person is going to hit this image 3, where is that image 3? It is on the sign in screen, right? So this is image 3. When the user will hit this, the records are going to get read from this blocks table. Now if I think this code is fine, or else you can do one more thing. We can get the text from this table. Okay, let's make use of this code for now. Let's see what is the output that we are going to see. Okay, fine. Let me just show you what do we have on the data browser right now. We have got two tables here, one with name blog, okay, in which we have got these 4 columns defined: name, email, title and description. And the other one is with name users, in which we have got the name and the email ID of the person who has created his profile on this platform stored. Now let's come on this after publishing screen. So here I have defined 2 buttons. The ID of the first button is previous and the ID of the next of this button is next. So let's define the code for these 2 things. Now we are going to make use of these 2 buttons for checking out the blocks, the different blocks the user is going to get, a particular user is going to create on this platform. So for doing that, we will be requiring a variable. Let's define a variable first. So this is going to act as a global variable because we are defining it outside all the on event blocks, and I'm initializing it with a value 0. Now after this, let's define an on event block for this previous button first. So when the user will hit this previous button, see, I'm using this variable x for fetching the ID. As you can see here, the ID for every record gets automatically generated for every table. If you will see this block table, you will get to know about this thing very well, that we created two blocks in the first lecture. This was the first block and this was the second block. So automatically an ID has got allocated to this particular block over here, and this ID2 has got allocated to this second block. Fine, so this is how the ID gets allocated to each and every record that we uh, update the table with. Fine. So now we are going to make use of that X variable for this ID, for fetching the details of this ID, and on the basis of the same we are going to fetch the details of the title and description of the post. How we are going to do that? See, if the post is, if currently you are seeing this first post, it means that when you will click on next button, we would like the value of X to get incremented by 1, so that we can see the second post, because the new value of X will be now 2. Similarly, when we will hit this next button again, button again, the value of X should get incremented by 1, one more time, so that we can see the third post. Likewise, if we will hit this previous button, we would like the value of X to decrease by 1, so that we can see the previous blocks. Let me just show you how can we define the code for the same. So when the user will hit this previous button, I would like to read the records. I would like to fetch the records from which table? From the table of the person whose email ID is going to get reflected over here on this screen. Label 8 is the name of this component. So let's make use of this component like this, and we need to replace it with label 8, right? So that's how we can replace this whole thing with label 8. Now inside this, the ID should be equal to X. Okay, so if the ID is equal to 0, nothing is going to get visible over here. If the ID is 1, so automatically it will show us the first post. Now besides that, when the user will click this button X, I would like to see the value of X should get incremented by 1, right? And let's keep this value, let's keep the initial value of X as 1, because we don't have anything for 0 in the table. What else can we do? We need to eliminate this thing from here, and after that we need to read the text from this table for these two things, the title after field and for the description field, right? For this title after, this is going to be the column from which we are going to read the information, and for description after, this is going to be the right code. Okay, get text label, it is also fine. Now I think there is some error here. What is the error? We need to check for that. Here it should be colon. Okay, now let's convert it back into block based code. Again we are getting some error. Where are we getting the error? We need to check it out. Okay, so I think it should be like this. Yep. So that's how you can do the coding for the previous button. Let's copy this whole code and paste it over here. The only change that we need to make for the next button is we need to replace this plus sign with minus sign. Okay, this is the only change that we are required to make. I think we are done with everything now. Let's now check out the code that we have defined. So first of all, I'm going to create a new user on this platform, and after that I am going to define I'm going to create some blocks on that platform using the credentials of that user. Let's sign up. Okay, so I'm signing up with these two things right now. The user is going to come on this screen. Let's see what do we have on the browser of this app. So in the data table, in the data part, I have got this users table over here, in which I will be able to see the new users login ID and a name. Okay, now let's click on this screen. So this is user's name, and this is where user's ID is getting reflected. Let's create a post. So for now I'm going to define it as post 1. This is the description for post 1. Okay, this is what I am defining right now, and let me just copy it on a notepad file so that I can use it for the other post too, for creating other posts. Now let's hit this send button and see what's gonna happen. Do we have some changes? Yes, a table has got created with the users ID here, and in this blogs, do we have some change here? Yes, another blog has got created. Now the only difference between this table and this table is that this is a universal table. Here I will be able to see all the blogs that all the users that who have registered themselves on this platform have created. Besides, this is an individual table. I will be able to see all the blogs that this person will create on this blogger platform. So this is a basic difference between these two tables. Let's hit this screen and see what's gonna happen. So here we'll be able to see post 1 created by Anita. Let's create another post. So this is post 2 which I am creating, and let's hit this send button. So I have the compiler has redirected me on this screen. Let's see what do we have here in this table, inside this table. Okay, and in this block table, yes, we have got both the blocks now, which we created some while back, and inside this table we have got both the blocks. So we have successfully created the second block, and the second block is also visible to us. Okay, now let's create some more blocks. Let's see what do we have. Okay, the post 3 has also got successfully created in the browser of the mobile app. Now let's hit this screen. So now we have got 3 blocks created by this user. Okay, let's see what are we going to get if we log out and log in again using the ID and email address. This uneven block is getting closed, and next button. Okay, when we are clicking the previous button, the value of x should get decremented by 1, and when the next button when the user will hit this next button, we would like the value of x should get incremented. So and now let's check out the link of this app and see whether we'll be able to get the required output or not. So we are going to sign in using Anita's ID. Okay, let's log in into the app. Okay, right now post 3 is visible to us. Let's see what is going to happen when we will hit this next button. So we'll be able to see post 2 because the value of x at present is 2, right? Now when we will hit this next button again, we will get to see post 3, the most recently created post. Similarly, if you will hit this previous button, so what is going to happen? The value of x will get decremented by 1. It will reduce by 1 and you will be able to see post 2. Okay, likewise we can check out all the posts. Okay, so this is how we can define a code for next and previous buttons.